Hey, it's me, Moser, and I wanted to talk with you about other uses of radiation. So, in the last few days, you did a web quest. You learned a little bit about things like smoke detectors and grandma's pretty fiesta ware from the 1930s. We know that there are things in your house that people have literally intentionally put radioactive materials in. Yikes. Is this a big deal? Is this a big risk? Should I be concerned? Well, let's talk about smoke detectors first. Is it a big risk? No, it's not. Keep the smoke detector. Don't get rid of it. Dying in a fire is a much, much larger risk. Here's the caution: don't tear that smoke detector apart. Um, the stuff that's in it, see this little warning label right here? That says that there's radioactive material behind that. And the stuff that's in it is what's called I always get this wrong, americium 241. It's an alpha source. And so plastic housing, the metal that they've got here, I mean, a piece of paper will protect you from an alpha source. They're big, fat, heavy, juicy alpha particles, 2 protons, 2 neutrons. So as long as you are not, let's say, eating the americium or breathing it in, then you're fine. It's not a big deal. Don't dismantle the smoke detector. Don't take that shielding off. Don't break it apart and then inhale that dust, because then you have an alpha emitter sitting in your lungs, possibly damaging tissue. That's a great way to get lung cancer. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun. So let's talk about great grandma's beautiful, lovely uranium red orange plates. These are made locally. They're made right over the river in Newell, West Virginia. Yay, fiesta ware. So, is this a big risk to you? Well, not if they're sitting in the china closet, and not if they don't have any chips or breaks in the glaze, and not if you aren't eating acidic foods from them. So, if you've got entire unbroken, pretty 1930s fiesta ware sitting in your china cabinet, is it emitting radiation? It is. Is it going to endanger you? No. Now, if they've got a chip in the glaze and you end up eating some of the glaze because you're eating off them, you're ingesting an alpha emitter. I mean, the thing is, if you ingest it, if you eat something, it's going to go travel through you. It's going to come out the other end. You got radioactive poop, but it's unlikely to do a whole lot of damage in the time it takes to pass through. Acidic foods can actually leach out some of that uranium. So, lemon juice right on the plate, that's a bad idea. So they're beautiful. We love that great grandma's dishes are still around. Keep them in the china cabinet. They're fine. Don't cuddle up with them in bed. Don't sleep with them under your pillow. They mostly emit alpha radiation. Having them in your house is not a big danger. So, what about granite countertops? Because that was the other thing that was discussed in the web quest. They are so pretty. And they're different from the smoke detector and the fiesta ware in that here, the radiation isn't deliberate. Any natural stone that you dig out of the ground, just a random rock you find in a field, can have veins of radioactive materials, radioactive minerals, uranium, thorium, etc. So if there is a vein of radioactive material in that granite countertop, it can actually release a gas called radon. It's colorless, it's odorless, and it's also radioactive. And if you're breathing in radon, that can do genetic damage to your lungs, which can lead to lung cancer. Now, here's the thing: not all granite countertops have veins of radioactive material. And, unfortunately, soils in our region in Appalachia, and as I understand it, also in the Rocky Mountains, can release radon anyway. So there are people who have radon coming up in their basements from the soils. So the fancy countertops probably aren't your biggest risk, and maybe you should get your basement tested for radon. Just saying. There are some other important uses of radioactive material that we haven't talked about yet. And what's called nuclear medicine is a big one. So they have started it's probably in the last 15 years, doing a thing called radioactive seed implantation. So we take these little teeny tiny pieces of radioactive metal. You can see how big they are compared to a dime. And they can actually inject those into a tumor. Well, wait, I thought that radioactive material killed cells, damaged cells, and that was bad. Yeah, it's bad when it's your cells. It's great when it's tumor cells. So those radioactive seeds can be implanted into a tumor, and it will kill the tumor from the inside and not do damage to the healthy tissue around it. So there are a couple different kinds of radioactive seeds in use. Some of them are implanted, I think it's usually 7 to 10 days, and then they remove them. Some of them are literally put in for like 10 minutes and then they pull it back out. You come back the next day and have it happen again. And there are a few that are actually implanted and they just are left there until they've decayed and they're completely non-radioactive. Wow. And that saves lives. And it also saves people a lot of, pain and suffering through chemo. This is a much easier way to go if you can. So there are also some exit signs that you may have seen that use radioactive material. So they're called self-illuminating exit signs. And they use a radioactive material called tritium. It's a form of hydrogen that's radioactive. And that with something called phosphor, it glows. And it doesn't require any wiring. It doesn't require batteries. They can stay lit just on this radioactive decay for 10 years. So the tritium is helium. It's a form of hydrogen, not helium. Silly me. I'll fix that. It beta decays and it forms helium. So in beta decay, remember, a neutron breaks apart and we get a proton added to the nucleus and an electron gets kicked out. These signs are really safe and they save lives because even when the power goes out in a disaster, these are going to stay lit and they're going to get people towards the exits. That's a good thing. So now the last one that we're going to talk about is radiocarbon dating. And this is a really important use of radiation. So what radiocarbon dating does is allows scientists to determine when anything that was once alive stopped being alive. Here's the thing. Their carbon is absorbed into your tissues in all the food you eat in all kinds of ways. And living things all take carbon into their tissues. Well, there's carbon-12, there's also carbon-14, and carbon-14 is radioactive. So when you die, you stop absorbing new carbon, 12 or 14, into your tissues. And the carbon-14 that's in your tissues starts a process of undergoing beta decay into nitrogen-14. So scientists can literally look at the ratio of carbon-14 to carbon-12, and that will tell them how long it's been since whatever, fill in the blank, it is that they're looking at stopped being alive. Wait, does this mean that we're radioactive? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So you're absorbing carbon-14 into your tissues. You are radioactive. Oh. So radiation, is it dangerous? Yeah. Well, so is driving around with no seatbelt on. Is it useful? Also, yes. So just like any tool, your chainsaw can get your wood cut to length or it can cut off your leg. Like any tool, we do have to be careful with it, but there are so many good things we can do with it. So the next activity you're going to do is looking at how big a dose, and that's how scientists talk about the amount of radiation you receive, you can get from a variety of everyday and occasionally not so everyday things, places, and activities. You're about to meet the XKCD cartoon. Cool. Bye.